let's get this started. Let's see here. That's fine. We are live everywhere. What's going on, Eden? Brooklyn, hello. What's up? Just went live, so just give me a second to get some stuff together to make sure we're looking good. Check, check. How's my voice sound? Fantastic? I hope so. Check it, check, check, check. Measure man. What up? Looking a little spooky today. Huh, Matt? Sounds great. All right, good. Looking a little spicy today. Zero alerts right now. That is some good news. We do have some thunderstorms up here, though. Northern Panhandle. Let's see. Make sure I'm on 10 scans. Yeah, I want to be on 10 scans. I don't want that crazy stuff. No watches or warnings. Just 80% chance of development down in the... Ooh, 30% chance of development in the next 2 days. Nice. Let's look at it on satellite. It's probably our center of circulation. It's probably right there. Is it that one or is it down here? Who knows? I'd have to put it into motion. Which I can't do on here, which is fine. That's what Windy's for. What's going on, B? Oh, yeah. Oh, crap. Happy birthday, Matt. I forgot. Well, we've been talking about your birthday coming up every day for like the past week. That's right. You're taking the day off. I will say you might miss some spicy spinny boys out here today. I'm sure you've seen what's going on. Some long trackers. I mean, I guess it's mainly a hail and wind threat, but still... Well, what did they do to our tornado? I think it's still just a 5% tour. They expanded it. The 5% tour this morning was... Yeah, the 5% tour this morning was like this. They just blew it up. Yeah. Well, I think... well, let me look. I think that's when things... I think we'll still have some stuff going on at around 9. You know... They discussed in the actually this is given a little different of a timeline. They discussed in the kind of the SBC discussed how as we move late into the evening, the low level jet looks like it's going to intensify. And our lower level jet and shear looks to intensify as we get into the late evening. So they mentioned 10% tour. Let me actually look at Pivotal. Because I did find it interesting that they thought we could actually see a tick up in severity as we get into the late evening, late evening. I want to look at the shear and stuff. Let me just take a look at the new reflectivity though first. Yeah, we'll go here. What's going on, Ray? Tom, what's up? Yeah, St. Louis tornado yesterday. St. Louis has gotten a ton this year, have they not? Or at least near it. The Gulf has cooled a bit. Just a bit. Just a bit. Here we go. So yeah, this is the SBC's words, not mine, but around the 00Z, which would be around 7 p.m. Central. They think this LLJ is going to intensify. So Let's take a look at that. If that's what we're still seeing. Oh, I have something in my eye. So around 7 p.m. Central, they expect the low-level jet to intensify. Oh, there it is. That's what they were talking about. So 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Look at this. 00Z. Here it comes. Can I get a keybind for this? And this could spell some troubles. Yeah. Oh, geez. And it's jet streak at the top here, too. Now we're talking about midnight. And look at that. Suddenly, we start to get some spiciness. So, yeah, I mean, they're correct on that. What is happening at that time to... Let's look at some of our other things here. What's happening with our SIGTOR? And our SIGTOR param blows up as soon... Yeah. It starts getting real spicy as soon as that happens. Let's see. Oh, yeah. We could see some big hail. We could see some big hail. Okay, 3000 surface cape. Decent looking photograph. Got that spin on here. 5.0 effective layer SIGTOR. Storm relative velocity, low level shear is pretty good too. This is very interesting. Rotation. I thought they might go 10%. I think they might go 10% on this. What's happening up here? Northern Panhandle. Running a 5K tonight, and then we're... Who runs a marathon on their birthday? Disgusting. Wow, look at this. Disgusting. Although this is... We'll see if this gets going. Grow... Oh, marginal tour. Interesting. Energy Helicity Index. Yeah, look at that. Low level jet kicks in and bam. All right. Could be an interesting night out here. I think we might get a 10% tour. Just maybe. Just maybe. All right, I'm going to get into the updates and then start answering people's questions here in a second. I just wanted some people to get into the stream. We just started. We've only been live for like 5 minutes. Southwest Missouri. You guys look fine tonight. Look fine tonight. Tomorrow morning we could have some bad weather rolling through, but... What does a 500 millibar height anomaly mean? 500 millibar, you know, that's just halfway up in the troposphere where all our weather happens. Just halfway between us and the stratosphere. And the height anomaly is basically, it's just the anomaly from the average pressure. Let's see here. Aurora, Colorado. Okay, really quickly before I answer everyone's questions. Let's get into the updates today. Let's do that. Let's get into the updates, and then I'm going to answer everyone's questions. I sent all my people to you while I'm gone today. Okay. I'm doing like an hour stream now. Later on, I'm going to do an hour or 2 hour shift in Evan Freiberger's channel on YouTube while he takes a break. And then I may do another 2 to 3 hours later, 8, 9 p.m. tonight. So, yeah. Suck at this convention while I want to be watching the radar all day. I feel that. Okay, so yeah. Let's do this real quick, guys. Does a 500 millibar anomaly mean troughs and ridges? Or am I wrong? Well, you can see troughing and ridging on the 500 millibar height anomaly. It's actually pretty easy to see on there. I prefer not the anomaly, just a 500 millibar height and wind, but... All right. Here we go. Here's our updates today, guys. Let's get into it, and then I'm going to answer your questions. We got, of course, you know, now that I get up at like 5 a.m. every day and do my updates, I said there was a slight risk today, and then it got upgraded an hour later. But we do have an enhanced, 2 enhanced. Up here, Panhandle of Oklahoma, southwestern Kansas, and far southeastern Colorado. So, where is Aurora? Yeah, Aurora, you're just in that marginal today. You could have some bad weather, but it's looking a little spicier down here to southeastern Colorado. All right. Enhanced. Now, this is pretty hail and wind-driven enhanced. Again, we could see some bad weather pushing all the way up into New England. I actually looked at the radar earlier, and we'll talk about it. Possibility of some supercells up here, upstate New York, up towards Vermont, north central Pennsylvania. That'll be interesting as we get into the evening hours, early to mid-evening hours. Going into tornado, we are just looking at right here. Most of Oklahoma is in that 2%. The majority of north central to western Texas, eastern New Mexico, southwestern Kansas, most of eastern Colorado. Obviously, we're paying attention to the 2%. Don't just pay attention to the 5%. Sometimes we get our strongest tornadoes not in where we think they're going to be. So if you're in the 2%, you need to be weather alert today. You can still get a strong tornado out there. But obviously, our chances are a little bit more elevated in this zone, according to the SBC. They kind of know what they're talking about sometimes. That does include Midland, Lubbock, Amarillo, Dodge City, Tucumcari, easy, Roswell, Carlsbad, Woodward, Elk City, Garden City, all those places. Yes, if you're in any risk zone, stay weather aware today. Thank you, B. This I agree with. I mean, just look at the reflectivity on every model. We're getting some big supercells through this region, and we do get as we push into the late evening, especially up here. Actually, it's more like here. We get an LLJ that starts to pump up here. So I'm concerned about everywhere. I don't know. I'm watching this area for a big tornado today, potentially. So hopefully not. Hopefully not. Hopefully we get nothing. Hopefully it's a dud. Up here as well, and this probably has to do with that LLJ. Same thing. We've got that 30% wind risk. So really need to watch up there. So that's what's going on. Hail. Hail is important today too. Wow, they upgraded that too. Large. I mean, if you're in any of this, you could get decent size hail, but the significant hail, this hatched region, 2, 3, 4 inch plus size hail, damaging hail. This is 30% chance of significant hail. Again, this hatched means significant. So it's not your average hail, your pea size, quarter size. We're talking 3, 4 inch plus hail. So you guys know where you are here. I do want to get into, and I'm going to get to answering your questions in a second. Here's our excessive rainfall today. Obviously, Wichita, Dodge City, Elkhart, down to Perryton, Oklahoma City, Tulsa, Fort Smith, all these areas out here, almost out to Joplin. All these areas out here, you could see this is going to be a potential flash flooding issue in this region. So let's pay attention closely. I know Wichita up here, south central Kansas, has been getting a lot of rainfall lately as well. Well, really, this whole area has. So there's not much room in the ground for this water. So flash flooding could be an issue there. We need to be alert. I mean, you're really. I mean, we're talking in here. We're this is the region where we're like excessive rainfall is possible, damaging winds, large hail, potentially significant tornadoes. So again, any risk zone today, pay attention. But for sure, this area is going to get a little spicy, potentially. I want to move into really quickly ARRR, and I'm going to run through this, and I'll answer your guys' questions. I'll do a tropical update after I answer some questions. Let's actually look at this on Pivotal Weather so I can break it down a little bit more, what's going on. This is, let's get into the 15Z ARRR. Okay, it's not fully loaded yet. Let's get into the 14Z. Here we go. Oops. We want to go into reflectivity. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Boom. Okay, so let's call it right there. 21Z, that's 9 p.m. That's 4 p.m. Central. 4 p.m. Central, we start to see a lot of storms firing off. And they're firing off farther to the north, by the way, that you can't see right up here, but it doesn't extend too much to the north. 4 p.m. Central, 5, 6. You see what starts happening here? Early evening. Here we go. Supercell potential, supercell, 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 supercell. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Now watch right here. 12. This is what I'm talking about as we get into late evening. Our low-level jet really turns on up here. And we get a cluster of supercells up here. Discrete, isolated type action. This could be dangerous. Long track. And look at this up here. I mean, it begins pushing off east. Panhandle of Oklahoma pushing off east. I'm telling you, we need to watch this. This looks like a derecho to me as this comes together, potentially. So that's a north central Oklahoma. Remember, this is a model, so it's not going to be perfect. Where it shows those storms, the storms aren't going to be perfectly there. They may be very close. Sometimes the ARRR gets very close. to seeing where it's going to be. Sometimes it misses. Sometimes the cap holds somewhere. So just look at the area the storms are forming in, not the exact like county. It's rarely going to get that perfectly. Every once in a blue moon, it does a really good job. Here is OOZ. Here's our M-Pass, which I do like. Here's our M-Pass. And again, let's look at when all these storms start to really crank up. Right around 4 p.m. Here we go. M-Pass, same type of area here. Where we're watching lots of supercells. Again, these can cause some actually more significant storms because they're not a part of this like QLCS. They have the whole sky to themselves. They're going to have great inflow regions. They're going to have a lot to work with here if we do see kind of a discrete setup like this. So moving off to the east. And again, notice it's doing the same thing up here once we start approaching midnight, or to the OOZ. So once we start getting into mid-evening hours, late evening hours, we're really seeing a lot happening up there. Southeastern, Colorado, southwestern Kansas, north central Oklahoma. This is something up here, really. I mean, this all looks pretty dangerous too, but I'm watching up here. Just make sure you're prepared. You have weather alerts on. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. We're going to be able to give 30 minute to an hour, warnings ahead of time. So, yeah. And I just want to show you one more, and then I'll start answering questions. I want to look at, let's look at the NAM 3K, what it sees. We have the 12Z out. We do. Same thing. Look at the NAM. As we get into midnight. Look it up here. They all see it. Look at that. So, but again, these storms down here, they look pretty intense as well. Earlier on in the evening, mid-evening. So we've got a pretty decent amount of model consensus. All right, let's get into your guys' questions. All right, let's see, chat. What's going on, Sonia? Morning, Han. There's a ridge trying to form in the Gulf of Mexico. I could check that in a little bit. Tornado season still is. Yep. Connor's temperature corner is back. Connor's weather dungeon. Connor's barber. Nice. I know I do need a fresh cut. What's going on? Stab at the... Nothing compared to the south, but how about Syracuse, central New York? Yeah, so we are seeing a little bit of action up there. We are seeing a little bit of action up there today. I'll push back into pivotal. And move up to the northeast real quick to answer that question. Here we go. I'll try to be quick with your questions, guys, so we can get in a lot here. Here we go. HRRR. We're talking right at around now. This is early. This is this is kind of mid-afternoon up here in northeastern Ohio. Sees potential for a couple supercells. Out here, upstate New York, western upstate New York. Rochester's right up there. This is moving up to the northeast. We're talking as we get into late afternoon, evening hours. So not seeing a ton of action up here, but as we get into the evening hours, I am seeing some supercell potential just based off the HRRR reflectivity through this region, especially. So we'll have to watch out for that today. Hail, strong winds, tornadoes always on the table if you can get a strong supercell. I'd rather use the storm relative helicity than energy helicity, in my opinion. Well, you can use both. Really quickly, yep. So, is there a ridge that wants to set up over the Gulf? Is there a ridge that wants to set up over the Gulf? For anyone who's spamming, I'm not going to answer your questions. HTTF, that's you. We do have a high pressure down there. So, but we could get a little bit of convection thunderstorms as we get into later this weekend. So, but it's a little toasty down there right now. You've got a high, so it's gonna warm up a little bit. But then we do have some thunderstorms moving in late this weekend. Hopefully, we get a little bit of upwelling because of that. We get the waters to cool back down. Dodge City, Kansas tonight. Sure. All right. Yeah, Dodge City. I don't know what to say other than you're right in the Dodge City. You got that high wind, significant hail, 5% tour. You may go 10% tour, and excessive rainfall. So you got to be alert all day. You got to be alert. I'm hoping the most significant tour chances stay down to your south, but you're kind of smack dab in the middle of everything there. I hate to say it. If I let's pull up our severe weather. 5% tour, 30% wind, 15% sig hail, and your in excessive rainfall of 15%. So that's why I've been circling that area up here. This region up here has really got a lot going on. Obviously, though, you can see down here, we've got this 30% hail, so it's not all going to be focused up in this region. We got plenty going on down south. I'm just saying that region has like the 4 out of 4 issues to worry about. So we'll watch up there. Not to worry about, just to be aware of. A Kyle snow forecast. Yeah, no nor'easter anytime soon. What's going on, Elijah? You in the back? Indiana tonight? Indiana doesn't look too bad. You could have some strong thunderstorms with some wind and small hail. But severe threats not really there. Small severe threat. What about tornado potential for Lubbock? You're in that 5% today. You are in that 5% today, and I think even Lubbock might go 10. If we get a 10, yeah, we can get a 10 in here. I don't know. The 10 might be... It's hard because you're going to get a lot more instability up here, I think, but these could end up being crowded. These cells to the north, and we could end up in a more isolated situation down here, which you can get some big spin-offs. Kyle! With the $5 super chat. Wait, I should have seen... Something should have popped up on my screen. What happened? Did I turn that off? I appreciate you, Kyle. Thank you. Oh, here, let me see. Brandon, let me see if I can do this now. Really quickly. Sorry, Elijah. Is Northwest PA okay today? Yeah, again, Northwest PA... Well, you know, we see some potential supercells. Some weak, not long track ones. Northeastern Ohio... moving up through northwestern PA. So late afternoon, getting into the evening, make sure you're paying attention to what's going on. It's not a huge severe threat, but there is a small one there. And sometimes you end up getting a powerful storm. Yeehaw, ride up, cowboy. B, thanks for the cowboy hat. I'm an hour late on that. Confused about B, Katie. I appreciate you guys. But yeah, not a huge threat. But sometimes, again, we get a much stronger thunderstorm than we're expecting in those not so significant areas. We do see long track potential out here. They call, this is central, southern, high plains, kind of a mix. Central, southern, high. Something like that. I was about to do something. I was about to say something. Can anyone read my mind? What was I about to say? Connor, well, 15% risk area for day 5. All the way from Carolinas to Texas. It does look a little spicy. We can move forward and talk about that. I was getting into something important, guys. Do you remember what I was talking about? Crap. I was about to tell you guys something really important. It'll come back up. No, it wasn't the ridge. Yeah, Lubbock area's you guys got a pretty decent. You guys got a decent wind, hail, and tour threat today. You got that 5% tour, 30% wind, 15% sig hail. It's a lot. Katie, I appreciate you. Oh, Brandon, that's right. That's right. Thank you. Let me see if I can pull up YouTube Studio and do that real quick. Guys, I'm going to keep... here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a speed round. So you're just going to tell me, if it's a big city, you can tell me your city. If it's a small city, tell me the region of the state it's in, like South Central, Southeast, Central, Northeast. And then I'm going to answer your questions. I'm going to do a speed round and answer all your questions as quickly as I can. Let me just fix this really quick. Make sure I get him modded. Settings. Oh, let me go to... Oh, I know how to do it, I think. because it used to let you do it right through OBS, and it decided to stop letting you do it through OBS, which I don't understand. Maybe it's a glitch, but it's really annoying that I can't just do it right through OBS now. So, oh, that's me. That's my voice. Oh, right. 1 second. Okay, I should be able to do it through here. 1 second, guys. Okay. Here, yep. Add as moderator. There we go. Easy enough. Easy enough. I don't know why it doesn't let me do that through OBS. It makes me have to log into my YouTube studio on a web page. Whatever. I gotta make everything harder. Okay. Ask away. What's going on for Tennessee? Not much today. Not much today. Categorically, we got a little marginal going through the western side of the state. Could see some severe weather. It's not expecting much, but I'd have alerts on. Even if you're in a marginal, there's a small chance for some severe weather. Anything going to hit OKC today? There's potential. That's why you guys are in this slight. Storms look to kind of de-intensify quite quickly as they move out to the east towards central Oklahoma. But as I said, that low-level jet is intensifying. And so we have some deep layer shear that's intensifying as well. Or deep level shear that's intensifying as well as we get into the late evening into midnight and overnight. So depending on what happens with that shear and our instability out here, maybe we see these storms hold on through OKC Tulsa. So, and since it's later, it's a little bit, that's a little bit worrisome. We don't like a nocturnal threat. So just make sure you have a way to get alerts out here. You're not in that direct, you're in the 2% tour, 15% wind, and then I think you're just in that 5%, 5% hail. So not too bad, but when is that storm hitting Kansas? Because my radar don't show any of that. Yeah, here is 15Z loaded yet? No. We've got some storms beginning to some strong storms beginning to fire up western Kansas at around 4 p.m. today. And you can see as we move forward in time, lots of pretty there's potential for some strong supercells, especially out here in southwestern Kansas, starting late afternoon into early evening, and then really throughout the night. There's going to be a lot of up here. We're talking like Hayes, Hutchinson, Wichita, up towards Topeka, Salina, northeastern Kansas, north central Kansas. More of a chance of not as big a tornado chance. You could still have some strong winds and a little bit of hail, but again, don't just pay attention to the highest risk zone. Pay attention to the regions that are close around it too, because sometimes we do get the strongest storms just outside of it randomly. The atmosphere doesn't care what we think is going to happen. It'll just change up sometimes, just like what happened. What was it, Tuesday? I mean, Tuesday looked like a downtrend all week, and yeah, it was actually pretty crazy. Can you play The Fly? What's that mean? Appreciate you taking time out of your day to let everyone know if they're safe or not. No, yeah, of course. That's what I do. What time will it start in Lubbock? Let's take a look at this latest run. This is the first kind of little ominous cell that could be heading towards Lubbock. I mean, this is 5 p.m. Central is what it thinks. Let me actually do. Yeah, Brandon, you can take care of that. 5 p.m. Central is what it thinks. I'd start paying attention a little earlier than that, 3 to 4, because sometimes these storms fire off a little bit earlier or they're moving a little bit quicker. I don't know what's going on, but like I used to be able to deal with stuff in my YouTube chat through OBS, and it just doesn't let me now, and it's so frustrating. I think I'm just going to not use chat through OBS anymore. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to use it through OBS anymore. Thank you. I'm just going to have it pulled up in YouTube Studio. That's fine. They're going to make it difficult for me. The tornado in Norman was a 1/8 of a mile to the north of me. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. We were covering that last night as it was happening. Or yesterday. Will the storm hit the Lake of the Ozarks? Big lake above Springfield, Missouri. You guys should be good up there. You guys should be good up there. Yeah, Elijah, what's up? What's going on, Charles? Wow, I'm getting... Why is that? Is this clipping when I'm... Yeah, I got to turn this down a little bit. There we go. Sorry, my mic was probably clipping a little bit. There we go. That sounds good still. You can still hear me, right? I don't want any clipping. I don't need to destroy your guys' ears. All right, we'll keep it right there. No problem, Brandon. Northeast Texas, please. Northeast Texas looks okay today. We could get some very early thunder showers. Not severe. Tomorrow, though. Tomorrow, let's get into our day 2. Big risk zone tomorrow, guys. Look at that slight. We'll probably get an enhanced in here. So I think that'll probably expand a little bit farther into southeastern Texas as well. Or northeastern Texas. Northwest Oklahoma, that's one of the areas I think could see the most significant severe weather today. Yes. So, excessive rainfall, very large hail, damaging winds, possibility of some tornadoes. Have weather alerts, especially as we get into the evening. Especially as we get into the evening up there in Northwest Oklahoma. Been upgraded to an enhanced. You've got SIG hail, significant hail potential, meaning 4-inch plus. And that low-level jet's going to start to crank up as we get into the evening up there, which can cause a little bit of rotation. Do you think the storm's about to go through Dallas-Fort Worth, specifically Denton, Texas, will be severe? About to? Let's see. These? No. These are just thunder showers. No really high cloud tops there. I should take a look at them on here. Let's pull it up. Yeah. Nothing too bad. It's going to get rainy. That's about it. What's going on? Oh, is this radar down? That's weird. There we go. Yeah, you're looking all right. Let's see. Elijah said, do you think Northwest PA will be really bad in a tornado because I'm scared of it? Not likely, Elijah. It's a very, very small chance you guys get a tornado up there. But there's a little bit, the models are seeing a little bit of supercell potential up there. So it's not impossible, but it's pretty low chances. So just make sure you're alert, but I wouldn't be too worried. Don't let that give you anxiety. The chances aren't high, but it's still best to stay alert even if you have any chance at all, Northwest Arkansas tonight. Nothing really tonight. We'll have to watch you guys. You guys got a little marginal out here. Morning hours, we could have some. A new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued. Going into the morning hours, we could have some decent thunderstorms moving through there, Northwest Arkansas. But tomorrow's going to be your day, probably, for a chance to see some more significant severe weather. Most of the state of Arkansas, you're in that slight. If we get an enhanced, you'll probably be in it. Severe thunderstorm warning. Severe thunderstorm warning, guys. Here we are. Let's see what's going on. All right. Let's watch this progress. There it is. Okay, this is headed out to the east. Well, you know what? Not really. I don't really like the way that box is. It's heading more east-northeast, more like this direction. So, Canadian. It's general, general 60 mile per hour, 1.25 inch hail. Not looking too bad. The shape of it, it's got kind of a tornadic type shape, but I don't think we're dealing with that right now. A little bit of a couplet. A little bit of a couplet, but we'll watch it. See a little bit of potential rotation in here. This would be interesting if we got an early tornado. I don't know if models were seeing this. We'll watch it. I'd pay attention if I'm out here, though. Raiden, Strong City, Arnett, Higgins, Canadian. This is up here in northern panhandle of Texas. It's actually weirdly a little bit of tour possible in this, I think, but looking fine for now. Not too dangerous. We'll keep an eye on it. Let's see here. Yeah. When I see someone spam, I just block or I mute. What do you mean by supercells, like tornadoes? No, supercell doesn't have to have a tornado. Supercells, very, very strong thunderstorm, very high cloud top. Supercell can produce damaging winds, can produce large hail. Sometimes it can produce a tornado. Sometimes it can produce all three. So you've got your general thunderstorms where you get some thunder and lightning, but you don't get crazy winds. You don't get hail in it. There's not a tornado in it. When you get a supercell, you've got strong updrafts, and that usually leads to strong downdrafts, damaging wind, hail potential. And if you got strong updrafts and you've got low-level shear, you've got some helicity, vorticity in that cell, then you're going to get potentially a spin-up tornado. But supercell just is very strong thunderstorm. Yeah. I would consider this right here supercellular. It's got that almost 1.5 inch hail, 60+ mile per hour gusts. It's a pretty strong thunderstorm. These thunders, like these would be probably your general thunderstorms right now. This out here as well, thunder showers. Not going to really see hail, super high wind or a tornado in here likely. So Portals, New Mexico. Take a look. Yeah, let's go to the latest Triple R really quick and actually talk about that area. 11 new followers. I appreciate you guys. I do post every single morning now. Every morning, updates what's going on in the tropics, which we'll talk about in a second. What's going on, severe weather around the country. And I live stream sometimes 1, 2, 3 times a day to try to cover all this weather. So if you like that, follow or sub. Thank you. Yeah, okay, so Portals, New Mexico. HRRR isn't seeing really anything fire up until about 4 p.m. Central. So I'd start paying attention 3 to 4 p.m. Well, I guess are you guys mountain time out here? You know your time. Afternoon, mid to late afternoon, start paying attention out here. It does look like a lot of these cells want to really intensify as they move off to your east. That'd be great for you. You wouldn't have a severe threat, but it's close. That's why they've got you. Let's actually put, this is tomorrow's, but you should be in a slight today as well. Yeah, you are. You're actually on the border of this enhanced, but this is a wind. This is a wind-driven enhanced. Let's take a look at our tour for you. You're in that 5% tour. Latest run doesn't really like these storms intensifying till they're off to your east, but we may get those cells firing off right here, not out here. So we got to pay close attention to eastern New Mexico. You guys could definitely be in the mix from north to south. I don't know where Ardmore is. Where is it? Tell me the region of the state it's in. North, east, southwest, southeast, south central, east central. No one wants. Everyone just want. I can't, guys. It takes forever for me to cover areas when I have to look up every city. I just want to answer as many questions as I can. I know where Indianapolis is. Indianapolis, you got potential for some. You're in a marginal today. Could get some strong thunderstorms. Not expecting anything too severe, but I'd have alerts on. Know what's going on today. Oklahoma, South Central Oklahoma. Yeah, South Central Oklahoma, you got to pay attention. I think we've got a pretty decent wind and hail threat up there. Again, taking a look at this, we could have some decent storms moving into your area as we get into 7, 8 p.m. tonight. And this here looks like we could have some very high winds associated with this storm here on the HRRR. We're talking 9, 10 p.m. Central. You are in that 2% tour risk. If we do look at our wind and hail, you're in that as well. So excessive rainfall as well, central. Excessive rainfall chances as well in south central. Or wait, was that Oklahoma or Kansas? Oh, oops. You're talking about here. I don't know what I was doing. Almost the same thing, except for I actually think less of a wind risk in south central Oklahoma. Still in a and not worried as much about the rainfall. I think your tour chances and your hail chances are a little bit are your main concern down here in south central Oklahoma. Timing for you guys. I don't know why I was doing that in Kansas. Timing for you guys would be pretty late. I mean, these models aren't seeing much. Let me go back to the 14Z and see what it sees. Timing would be, early morning, 4, 5, 6, when we could see some strong stuff moving out in this direction. We could get an isolated storm out ahead. You can see as we get into 8, 9 p.m. Central, maybe we do get an isolated severe thunderstorm that rolls through south central Oklahoma. Let me go to live chat. Okay. North Carolina's looking all right today. North Carolina's looking all right today. You guys are in this categorical tomorrow. And I think day 3 as well. You're in a day 3. Central, out western North Carolina. You're in a day 3 slight. That could go enhanced. And you're in a day 2 marginal out there. Same area. Central to western North Carolina. Today you're looking pretty good. Louisiana, you're looking fine. A little bit of a threat tomorrow. Not much today. A little bit of a threat tomorrow in northern Louisiana. Same thing with Dallas. You could potentially get involved tomorrow. I can see that slight stretching down close to Dallas. Today, I don't expect too much out in Dallas today. Other than some thunder showers. Not really strong thunderstorms. Central Ohio. Central Ohio, we're seeing some potential action in the models in northeastern Ohio. But again, Central Ohio, you guys are in this marginal. It's best to pay attention. We're not expecting anything too severe up there. But there's some supercells generating on or populating on some of the models. I hope Joplin area stays in the weak part of the line of storms. Sigtor is below 1 for me, so I think I'm chilling. For tonight, you're fine. We'll have to see what it's looking like tomorrow, though. For tonight, you're fine. What do you want to look at in the climate reanalyzer, Eden? Do you think SPC will upgrade the tornado risk for today? I do. I think we'll get a 10%. Can't promise you that, but I think we will. I think... Let me actually look at something really quickly here. Where's their wind? Okay, their wind threat's up there. Okay, that's where it should be. I think we could get a 10% up here. But we do have some decent looking storms down here as well. Maybe we get it split like that. Maybe we get a split like that or something. 10% in our tour. Like a 10% and then like a 10%. We'll see. Amari Connor, I don't know why, but I'm worried. You don't gotta worry. You owe me good. This is Radar Omega that I'm in right now. I shouldn't have answered your question because you're spamming, but too late. What's Saturday looking like for Illinois? Saturday. Here, let's go over to Pivotal Weather. And let's take a look. Let's just go to our Euro and see what's going on our future radar. Future reflectivity. In Illinois? No, Elijah, I wasn't talking about you. Illinois. Is that what it... Yeah, you are more likely to get answered if you aren't spamming. I usually try to avoid anyone spamming. If I see spamming, I just don't answer. I mean, you can ask the same question multiple times, just not 10 times in 5 seconds. Like the... Wait, was it? Someone tell me, was that Illinois I was looking at? Anyways, Saturday, I think it's Illinois. Illinois got some thunderstorms moving through Saturday. It's looking, especially central to southern Illinois. We could have a severe threat in there Saturday. Let's look at our SBC. This is our day 1. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Yep, central to southern Illinois. Marginal. You could get upgraded too. Bum-ba-na-na. Radar Omega. Radar Omega. What'd you say, Elijah? I know you're worried. You're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. What about Guyman, Oklahoma tonight? Is that out western? That is out western. That's out here, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, again, that's an area. This is probably my highest concern today out here. But I'm concerned about, you got to watch all the risk zones. There's just the models are doing some spicy stuff up here. Southwestern Kansas, southeastern Colorado, northeastern New Mexico, northern panhandle of Texas, and then out here in western panhandle of Oklahoma, western Oklahoma. We've got excessive rainfall, 30% wind risk, 15% sig hail, 5% tor. So definitely, if that's how you pronounce it, Guyman, we got to watch closely. This could be a big wind risk too, as we get into 11 p.m. Central. This could be a derecho type event for you guys, but you could get some potential for some isolated tornadoes earlier in the evening. Yeah. Will St. Louis, Missouri be okay today? We just had a tornado yesterday. Yeah, you guys keep getting tornadoes right near St. Louis. Yeah, you guys look okay today. Not too big of a risk for St. Louis today. I don't even think. Are you guys even in the marginal today? I don't even think you are. No, you're not. Not surprised. Not much of a severe weather risk today for St. Louis. Nate said yesterday you could get bad lightning. Just stay inside. Wherever you live, ground it. Lightning's not going to strike through it. Dallas is good today. We could see a little bit of a severe threat tomorrow, though. Dallas is good today. You have some thunder showers moving through right now, but they're not severe. Not expected to. Dallas isn't even in a marginal today. It makes sense. The models see this really falling apart. You can see that as this stuff approaches Dallas, it really falls apart. So not too concerned about Dallas. I want to do a quick tropical update for you guys. The Gulf Climate Reanalyzer, sure. We can take a look at that. And then let's do a quick tropical update, and then I'll answer a little bit more severe weather questions. Huntsville, Arkansas. You guys are out here in this general. Today's not too much of a threat for Arkansas. There is a little bit of a threat. I'd stay weather alert. But tomorrow you go into a slight. You could even get an enhanced across Arkansas. So, yeah. Anyways, let me quickly. I'll quickly look at the climate reanalyzer. We'll look at the Gulf temps again. Well, I don't even need to look at the Gulf. Well, okay, we'll look at it on the climate reanalyzer. That's fine. It's interesting. Cooled a little bit. Like Eden said. It's now maybe the 4th warmest it's been in history, the Gulf. This is our average. This is the average Gulf temp right here. This is our average Gulf of Mexico temperature at this time of year, and we are up here. So, yeah, it's much warmer than it normally is. We were actually the 2nd warmest in history, or last 50 to 70 years. Had it drop a little bit, but it's because we had upwelling. We had cooler waters. I'll show you exactly what happened. Let me go into ocean temperatures, surface temperature anomalies, Western Atlantic. These waters down here in the Gulf cooled. I mean, in the Caribbean. And we have a current that goes like this. We have a current that moves almost exactly like that. So I think we've had some cool waters funneling up into the Gulf from the Caribbean. Since it is cooled, it's a little bit delayed. Not only that, we did see a lot of thunderstorm activity over the last 72 hours out here. So these waters were baking, especially here, southern tip of Florida, baking. We had 72 hours of just nonstop thunderstorms, tons of evaporation off that surface ocean water. That's where the heat is, on the surface. So now we've had upwelling in these areas too. So has been a cooling. But guess what, guys? This is all warm enough for tropical development still. But it's good to see it cool a little bit. The warmer the waters, the more buoyant that air gets above it, the higher chances for tropical system you have, or at least the higher chances you have for a strong tropical system. So while we're still fine for tropical development with these water temps, at least it's a step in the right direction towards maybe we don't get something super intense in the next couple weeks. Says it's going to be sunny tomorrow in Dallas. It could be. It's going to be close. Your weather app probably tells you stuff all the time that isn't true. Mine does. It's going to be close tomorrow. Let's look at our NAM. 12K. We're going to have thunder showers moving just to the north of Dallas tomorrow. But if they cut a little bit farther south, which they may, you can see what happens here. This is the NAM. We've got storms right here. So, let's hope it's perfectly accurate and you'll stay sunny. This is late in the evening, though. Most of that bad weather earlier in the day looks to be to your north. So this would be pretty late, 7, 8, 9, 10 central, and then into the morning. But yeah, the worst weather looks to stay to your north tomorrow, but we'll see what the updated models say tomorrow. Quickly on the tropical update, guys. Let me just show you what's going on really quickly here. Let me show you what's going on here. 80% chance of tropical development within the next 5 to 7 days. Right here. 80%. 30% chance in the next 48 hours we have tropical development right here. Look at this. He's trying to get that spin together. There comes the sun. Trying to figure... It's a little hard to figure out where the center of this low is, but you can kind of see it. I see the rotation. Yeah, I see the rotation. Right here. Right there. So, probably going to track off one of these directions like this. It's supposed to get pretty intense, actually. Potentially. So, we're watching that. Likely not to affect us, which is good. If we push off, this was our storm that we thought could develop. It didn't develop into anything. This was our other system we thought could develop. Nothing. They only gave it a 10% chance. So, but nothing. Now, moving out. And I'll show you the models. Nothing happening out here, which is good. Waters are really cool out here anyways. Nothing happening. We're still watching this convection. We're still watching this convection in the Western Caribbean. Some of this wants to move up into the Western Caribbean. That's why models still try to show a landfalling hurricane within the next 2 weeks. Odds of that are still low, but not impossible. I really quickly want to show you what's happening on Tropical Tidbits, because we still have a lot of random stuff being thrown around on here on the internet. But going out to our Western Atlantic, this is what we care about right now. Here we go. There's our tropical cyclogenesis. About 72 hours out, if that storm's going to form, it's going to head off to the west. 1 second, guys. Okay. Now, watch the Caribbean. Lots of convection pushing up into the Caribbean. The GFS has finally pulled away from seeing... I guess it's too early. There's another storm out here in the Eastern Pacific. The GFS maybe is getting rid of their thought that there's going to be a landfalling hurricane. No, it still pulls something else up into there. That's interesting. No, yeah, okay, so it's pretty much gone. Still seeing some tropical action up here, like maybe a tropical storm depression, but this is like 300 hours out. So nothing too concerning in the near future. I'll quickly take a look at the Euro just to compare. I don't like the Euro down here, though, in the subtropics, personally. I don't think it does a good job. Still does see that storm out in the Eastern Pacific forming, no surprise. And does see another one right behind it, still in the Eastern Pacific. So, and we'll watch here because the GFS and Euro both show this convection trying to move up into the Western Gulf. Very far out. We're talking like mid-June, but not too much going on. Not too concerning in the tropics right now. That's good. All right, chat, what's going on? So, yeah, this is Radar Omega. And weather-wise, you can see on weather-wise, you can see the severe potential as well. We've got another severe thunderstorm warning. Inch hail, 6 mile per hour gust possible. This is 6 mile per hour gust possible, 1.5 inch hail. And let's quickly take a look at our... Okay. Not seeing really any rotation in those, so just your general severe thunderstorm warnings. Sorry, I'm taking a look at this right now. Ooh. Let me actually show you guys what I'm looking at. There you go. Northern Texas. Not too intense. Really don't see any rotation in here, so I wouldn't worry too much, but they are moving out in this direction. Some decent-sized hail and gusty winds in these cells. But yeah, here on weather-wise, you can also take a look at your outlooks. See? Categorical, tornado, wind, hail, probabilistic, day 3, day 4, day 5. Look at this look at this day 4, guys. I think this would be your Sunday. We got a slight. We got a slight out there from Georgia all the way up to Virginia Beach, southeastern Georgia, or almost Jacksonville south to Virginia Beach. So that's interesting. Definitely interesting. Appreciate the follows, guys. I'm looking at the HRRR. I'm looking at both NAM3K and HRRR, and I think future model scans could show something supercellular around 15Z tomorrow, which is when Joplin area. A slight risk. Just gotta wait and see. Yeah, I'll take a look at that in a little bit. Anyone having dropping issues on YouTube or just me? Are you having issues with my stream on YouTube, guys? Let me know. Keeps dropping for you too. Interesting. TikTok, is my stream dropping for you guys at all? It might be a YouTube thing. Am I like lagging or anything for you guys on TikTok? No. I had a feeling it was a YouTube thing. All good. All right, so that confirms it's a YouTube thing, not a. OBS just might be having a little bit of trouble communicating with YouTube, or there's just a latency thing going on YouTube itself right now. I know, I'm about to hit 4K, Blondie. Let me answer some more questions. Will we have a risk zone for day 6? It's possible. We've got a pretty active week ahead of us. Definitely possible. Very loud and clear. Okay. Elijah, what's going on? Later today in New Mexico and North Texas. Yeah. We're watching you guys, especially as we get into the late afternoon, evening hours.
New information. This severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
I made that a little smaller and quieter for you guys. Let me check up with that update to the severe thunderstorm warning. Does Northwest PA just get thunderstorms, and what time does it start for us? It's going to be an evening event. There's a chance for some strong thunderstorms, but not a very high one. That's why you're just in a marginal 1 out of 5 risk. Let's see. Yeah, YouTube keeps dropping. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't know. It could be a me thing, but if my stream's running smoothly on TikTok and I'm running them both off of OBS, it's got to be a YouTube thing. I don't know why it would run smooth on one platform and not on the other. I don't really ever have internet issues. I'm land into 1,000 meg internet, so like the most expensive internet you can buy. And I don't use wireless. I'm actually plugged directly into the router. So my internet, I mean, we could stream like 20 movies in 4K in this house and probably still have bandwidth left. More Oklahoma. Yeah, you guys are right out here. Everyone, I should know where Moore is. I know it's right in this general vicinity.
New information. This severe thunderstorm warning.
Oh, I didn't realize it was that close to OKC. I actually thought it was like a little bit farther out. Yeah, strong to severe thunderstorms moving into that region. I mean, the HRRR is seeing it pretty late in the night. I actually want to go and look at at Pivotal real quick, because I don't agree with what it's showing there. Let's take a look at the 15Z. Yeah, it doesn't really see that severe potential moving in. Man, it doesn't really show any severe potential in there, but maybe if we could see one of these go early evening, get severe, not looking very likely near Moore, Oklahoma. Maybe a little bit of a wind ratio threat. Very, very late. We're talking like 4 in the morning. But that, this wants to stay to the north here. Let me take a look at like the Rufus. Yeah, it doesn't really see that area either. Rufus is watching 3, 4 in the morning for Moore, Oklahoma area, but you guys may end up getting lucky. We'll see. Stay weather alert though. How are you able to let it tell you when there's a new warning? I have a command prompt running that pulls information directly from the NWC. You can see it right there, this right here. So as soon as something goes into the NWS, it goes straight onto my stream. It's just like a complicated overlay thing. Took took me a while to figure out, honestly. I don't even know how to explain it. It's called Atmospheric X. Let's see. What Radar Omega subscription do you have? The most expensive one. It's only like $11 a month, though, or something like that. Maybe not even $9 a month. That's pretty cheap. Yeah, we're watching for tonight, guys. Yeah, we're watching for tonight. What's going on, everyone? I appreciate you being in here. I'm probably going to do another 5 minutes and get off because I'm going to be, like I said, I'm going to be jumping in, doing a... Wait, I appreciate the sub. I appreciate the sub. I don't know why I'm not hearing the sound, though. Could you guys hear the sound when that went up? Why didn't... Oh, yeah. Why couldn't I hear the sound? That's weird. Hold up here. Sorry, I appreciate you guys if you subbed on YouTube. It's not giving me any the alerts aren't. I'm not hearing the alert sound, which is weird. Give me 1 second. Advanced properties. Let me try this. I don't know why it's not doing that. It's all turned on. Super weird. Oh, you did hear it? Okay, so it's on my side. It's just on my side. Okay, cool. That's why I wasn't even noticing if anyone was subbing, because I wasn't getting the alert notification in my ear like I normally do. I think I had the monitor part turned off. Can you block that person for spamming, please? Thanks. What's going on, Kyle? See, like, that's the type of spamming I don't like, guys. Like, you can ask a question multiple times, but that's crazy. Let's see here. North Carolina looks good today, but tomorrow you're in this marginal. Central North Carolina out west, and on Saturday you're in a slight risk for severe weather. Central North Carolina out west. So Saturday looks a little extra spicy. You could get some decent severe weather through, like I said, Central North Carolina out west, including potentially Greensboro, Raleigh, Durham, Charlotte, Asheville, you know, all the big cities out here. New 10% hatch for Texas today. Did they do it? Did they do it? Look, they expanded that enhanced. Not shocked. Where'd they put it? No, they didn't. Or at least it's not on here yet. It's not on here yet. Let me check this real quick. Let's check this. Maybe that enhance was like that. Let's go. Tornado. Oh, there it is. Well, that's one of the areas. I said I thought we'd get one here, and I thought we'd get one here. They have not put in the 10% here. I'm still convinced we're going to get one up here. This does really look to me, though, like potentially it's more consolidated, so more like derecho strong wind event. So if they don't put the 10% hatched up here, I can kind of see it. It does look like much more of a straight line threat than a tor threat. So, but I can agree with this. 10% hatch is basically where we thought. Basically where I thought earlier, yeah. We'll see. You can really see on the models, this thing is like really consolidating into a MCS up here. And typically, you're not going to see as strong a tornadoes in that. Not impossible, but if this turns out to be more isolated or discrete as we move through the day, they're going to slap that on there. But yeah, guys, this is a 10% hatch tor. Significant EF2 plus tornadoes are possible. Paducah, Texas, down to Spur, Post, Brownfield, Plains, Morton, Muleshoe, Plainview, Tulia, DeMitt, Lubbock. Pretty big, pretty significant tor risk in there. They did also hatched hail. Hatched 30% hail is up there as well now. I believe this was just 15, or yeah, I believe that was just 15% before. Now we have 30% hatched hail up here. Dodge City, down to Guyman. Southeastern Colorado up to Lacken, however you pronounce that, Kansas. So we got an uptick on all of our severe threats today here. Let's look at the Northeast and see if we've got anything changed. Categorical. Day 1. Okay, there it is. They put a slight in, guys, northeast. It is for Edinburgh. So it's northwestern PA, but it stops at about Edinburgh down to Meadville. Elijah, I don't know if you're in this. Utica, almost to Albany through Scranton, all the way down here to Pittsburgh, up here to Jamestown. So you guys can see it on here. Syracuse did get a little bit of an upgrade here on the categorical risk for today. Slight 2 out of 5 risk. No Tor risk on here, which is good. Doesn't mean you can't get a tornado here, but you have less than a 2% chance from any point. From any point here, 25 miles from any point, less than a 2% chance today for a tornado, which is great. This looks like it is wind-driven. This is a wind-driven slight categorical risk, meaning the main reason... What is going on here? The main reason they put this slight on here... Why is it doing this? Can we stop messing around? Jeez. The main reason they put this categorical slight here... Well, this is the wind, but the categorical slight here is because of that wind risk. Damaging straight line winds are possible. I don't know why. I don't know why it keeps doing that. It's driving me crazy. Let me see if they changed the excessive rainfall today as well. Nope, same. Watching here for excessive rainfall. About the same. Oklahoma City up to Tulsa, Wichita, Dodge City, Guyman. Upgrades everywhere. Yeah, Lubbock is in that 10% hatch for tornadoes today. You really need to pay attention as we get into the late afternoon, evening hours. Please stay alert. Thanks, Brandon. Next outlet comes out at 3. Yeah, they did extend this 2% tour out into Arkansas. Maybe I'm crazy, guys. I don't believe Joplin, Fort Smith. I don't think it was extended out that far. I believe it was something. It was cut off. I could be wrong, but I believe they actually extended that out as well. Thank you, B. How bad for North Carolina? Not much for North Carolina today. We do have a severe weather threat from central to western North Carolina tomorrow and Saturday. Saturday looks like you could be in a slight. You are in a slight right now, but so a little bit more severe. Carlsbad, you're right on the board of that 5% tour today, and you are, I believe, in a SIG hatched. Here's our wind. You're in that 15% wind, and you are. Oops. Let's get back into day 1. There's our tour. There's our wind. You're in that 15% wind. There's our hail. You're almost in the 30% hatched hail, Carlsbad. So keep your eye on the sky, as I say. Will there be any tornado threats for Chicago tomorrow? Not likely. Not likely. Very unlikely. All right, Eden. I appreciate you. Kentucky, we're watching tomorrow. We are watching tomorrow for Kentucky. We've got a big slight over Kentucky. Part of Kentucky may go enhanced tomorrow. General thunder, or you got a categorical in here today. Could you get some severe thunderstorms? Yes. It's a 1 out of 5 risk. I'd be paying attention. I believe this is simply a wind that we're watching, straight line winds. I don't even think we have much of a, we don't even have a hail or tornado risk zone through there, but straight line winds could be a problem with some thunderstorms rolling through central to western Kentucky. North, central to western Kentucky, southeastern Kentucky looks just general thunder for today. Tornado threat in Lubbock for today? Yes. You guys have the highest tornado threat today. 10% hatched. EF2 plus tornadoes are possible. Long track. Please, please, please have a plan. Have a plan. Don't just be weather alert. Have a plan. Everyone is 5% as well. I mean, everyone should have a plan in any of the risk zones. But when you see them start slapping these 10% hatched on for a tornado, it's concerning. So just make sure you have a plan. Nowadays, most of us can call the tornadoes 30 minutes to an hour in advance. 30 minutes to 45. We can see what's happening. So I'd be just trying to every now and then check on what's going on in your area. Linda, Dreadit, Kansas, I appreciate you guys. Can someone on YouTube sub so I can check the notification? You can even unsub and resub. I want to check to see if the notification's working for me now. The sound. I think it will be. What's going on, Michael? Will Little Rock see anything bad today? Little Rock, not likely. Tomorrow, you guys are in a slight. You could see some severe weather tomorrow. Georgia's looking pretty good today, too. I'm not expecting much severe weather in Georgia. I think you're in general thunderstorms today. Central Oklahoma tornadoes, please, no more. You got a much higher risk for tours out in western Oklahoma, but not impossible. I'm concerned about some strong straight line winds through central Oklahoma, more than I'm concerned about tornadoes, but you're in a 2% today, so pay attention. The yellow means this is a 3 out of 5 risk for tornadoes, and you can see the black dashed lines. That means significant tornadoes, EF2+. What that means is from any point in this circle, say right here, say I just put a little dot right there, there's a 10% chance that within 25 miles of that circle, I don't know what is going on here. This needs to stop. It really should not, when I'm drawing, it should not pop something up. Come on, weather-wise, get it together. There is a 10% chance from that dot, or from 25 miles, within 25 miles from that dot, that there will be a tornado on the ground today. That's pretty much what it means. It's only 10%, but you know, these are tornadoes we're talking about. We got to take it seriously, and significant tornadoes. So these can do a lot of damage if they do touch down. Some storms behind the main line, which could be discrete. Usually the instability isn't as high behind the main line. Yeah, exactly. Just looking at the window at the gray day. How's the storm looking that's coming into Ohio? Do we have a storm coming into Ohio right now? General thunderstorms rolling through Ohio right now. Guys, I got to get off. I'm going to be on later. I'm going to be on Evan Freiberger's channel later whenever he decides to take a break for an hour or two. I'll be covering that, and then I'll probably go on later this evening as well to cover these storms. I did post a video today going over all of this, but just note that in the video we've had upgraded. Our risk zones upgraded. That's why I've been going through it. They've been upgraded since my video. I put my video out early, and they upgraded some of them. But yeah, that's what's going on, guys. I appreciate you. Appreciate anyone who followed, subbed, gifted, Dreaded Kansas, Linda, Katie, everyone. I appreciate you guys. Yeah, if you're your first time in the stream, I post updates every single day about the tropics, severe weather that's going on, and I live stream every day as well to try to answer all your questions. So I appreciate you guys, and I'll be back on a little bit later. Like I said, I think I'm going to do Shift and Evan Freiberger stream later. We'll see sometime late afternoon, early evening, and then I'm going to hop back on here in the evening as well. Everyone have a great day. Mods, I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Everyone who came over from Evan's community as well. Alrighty, I'll see you guys on a little bit later. See you.